we'll give it a go.
Hi, Leonora. Good morning.
Morning, Boana. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for joining me on my podcast. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It'll be a first for me, but no, willing to challenge myself today.
Fantastic.
So I am. I'm originally a Derry girl. I don't know if I ever said that before.
No.
But I'm from outside Derry and a place called Dungiven, and I moved here early 1990s and settled in Drogheda, and I've never left since. So I'm kind of probably more of my life in Drogheda than I am at home. But I'm still kind of very much into my roots and where I was. So still be a Derry girl.
Fantastic. What brought you to Drogheda?
I was working in England for a while, and I had an opportunity of coming home. My attitude in England when I lived there was to never have any more than what I could fit in a suitcase. If I wanted to go home, I could just lift the suitcase and go. So I didn't buy anything that was of any bulk, or I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything like that. So I kind of felt I always was going to move back at some stage. So and then an opportunity came up to try Dublin, and I moved to Drogheda. And then I ended up getting a job in Drogheda and meeting my husband in Drogheda. So we're still here in Drogheda. Good. So we are. But no, it's all good. What you call it? We have 3 kids, 3 adults now, and 2 dogs that run the house. So no, it's all keeping me busy.
Wonderful household. Very nice. And Leonora, tell us about your work. What do you do?
I work full time in an office job, but my main passion and my main interest is art. I've always had it. Ever since a child, I have always wanted to be painting. My first thing I ever painted or drew was an elephant in primary school. And that got me started. And I was painting in colour, and any Christmas presents always had colours and stuff in them. But I kind of dipped in and out of sketching and one thing and another. But I really started back in 2012. I started oil painting with a local artist here, Richard Moore, and then I moved to Henry McGreen and over in Navan, and between the two of them, they kind of set me up for the skills that I have and trying to paint. So I got into landscapes, and then I tried portraits and nature and outdoors and things like that. So that's kind of where I am. My art used to be very detailed, and I'd spend a lot of time on fine details, and now I kind of feel I want to move away from that into something maybe more abstract and kind of take myself away from the details and try to be looser with my art and things like that. So sometimes you can get hung up in the details, and then if the right thing isn't really, really right, or it doesn't turn out the way you want it to be, you're nearly ready to throw the whole thing away rather than, so I don't want to be that pernickety, I suppose. So I'm kind of trying now to be a little bit looser, and I'm trying to do courses and things like that that'll kind of help me to be that way. So I am, but no, I know I'm happy now just kind of doing the odd class in a class with others, because it's good to kind of be with other artists as well, and then try and do some stuff at home whenever I'm not working. So it's the weekends or it's the odd evening now with the bright evenings. So keeping myself going.
And what does art mean to you or give you that time that you look forward to sit down, or is it after a busy day, or what draws you to art?
I think it's for me it's kind of I can turn on my music, I can get into the space, and it's really just switching off. And I could pass maybe 2 hours painting, and I wouldn't even feel it. And then you're kind of watching as you're what you're producing as you're going along and changing things, and then you have the finished product, or you can work at it the next day. but for me, it's kind of like not a stress release, but it's kind of like just a calm kind of experience. I don't kind of I don't know. It's something I enjoy. It's something that I can totally lose myself in. Do you know, that way? So it's something I look forward to doing more of.
Fantastic. And did you are you selling your work, or how are you showing your work, or in any way?
I have I sat down and I got a kind of a small course, and I created my own website, and I have my website, and I have my products linked in it, and then I have Instagram and my own Facebook page. So I'm kind of going with that, and then it's word of mouth, and in the local area, kind of sometimes you find that people want more local paintings and things like that. But for me, I will paint kind of. It's not that I won't paint local, I will, but it has to speak to me. I have to kind of feel as though it's right for me to paint it. You know, I don't want to paint it just for the sake of painting. So I don't feel I'd get the same enjoyment, and I don't want the painting to be worse for that. So I would I tend to now, this last while, I have a few prints and things like that. So I want to get into shops, and I've approached a couple of different shops that are local to me, and coffee shops and galleries and things like that. So I'm hoping to kind of even get a few prints in there, or maybe one or two original paintings in there. But no, it's kind of it's tipping along. I'm at the start of my art career, so I don't expect that. I just kind of keep chipping away at it.
And you mentioned the social aspect of the courses or classes that you go to, and you're creating a really nice social event. So tell us about that.
I'm going to plan for I'm organising the first Plein Air, which is outdoors painting event for artists to come to in outside Drogheda. So I've called it Life Plein Air Art. So because I think it's not just for me today, it's a one-day event, but I'm hoping in the next year and the years to come, it'll turn into maybe a 2-day event or a weekend, or it'll grow and get legs and take off. So but for now, it's a one-day event on Sunday the 15th of August down in Beaulieu House and Gardens in Drogheda. And it's kind of an old period house, and with a long driveway, gated driveway up to it. So and then there's it's what you call it, it's like a lawn that kind of just it's like a tiered lawn, that if you're on the other side of the Boyne River and you're coming along the Marsh Road, you can actually, it's kind of like it frames the house, I suppose, and that's a view. And then there's all the wall gardens and the different flowers and just so many little nooks and crannies and walkways and pathways and little lanes and little sit down areas. There's a picnic table made out of, I think it must be the remnants of an old tree that was cut down, and things like that. So it's like there's so many things. I had to it's even though it's on my doorstep, it's somewhere I've never been. So I made a point of going down and having a chat with the lady who owns it, and in between the two of us, she was really keen to do the art festival in her garden. So especially when we haven't had anything for so long, it's something to look forward to, and it's outdoors. And with COVID and the restrictions, we can keep the numbers down with there's a link on Eventbrite for artists to click on to book their tickets. So and there's a couple of general admission tickets. I suppose the main object is to get artists there, and so they can enjoy painting out. And it's going to run from about, I think registration will be 9:30, and it'll finish up about 5, and there'll be like a display of the artist's finished works on kind of the courtyard at the front of the house, and maybe at 5 o'clock. And I'm hoping there'll be prizes and things like that there for. Have to figure out who's going to judge it. It won't be me. So So yeah, I'm kind of taking the idea of, I was at the Dublin Plein last year,
Okay.
and I was speaking to the organisers, and I asked them, was there anybody else from Louth here? And I think there was one other guy, and I never met him because there were so many. So I kind of said, that's where I took the idea from. I said, right, there is so much in County Louth. There is, not just Drogheda, up around Dundalk, Carlingford, Blackrock, Clorhead, Terrabeck and Beaches. There's so much. And I said, like, it's all of this on our doorstep and we're not utilizing it. So, and I'm not in an artist community here really. So I'd like to kind of meet up with other artists as well, and even, find a slot for myself where I would like to, kind of engage with other artists as well. So there's a lot to gain from it. The artists get together and spend the day, and you might meet someone or you might have an artist friend and go together. But what you call it? I know I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of organising, a lot of planning, and you think you've got it all done, and something else comes up, but we're getting there.
Yeah, that's definitely a wonderful idea. And when you first mentioned it to us, we, few of us were delighted for an excuse to meet up. And we like myself and you met online through a course, and yet it's a really nice friendship or a community that we've created. So
It is
so cool to meet face to face.
It'll be wonderful. I know, exactly. And what you call it? It'll be great. So and it's a full day event, so like you can ponder about and do your own thing, and then meet up and have a cup of coffee and have a chat, and then go off and do your own thing again, and it'll be a great day.
I love that flexibility of it, that it's not a a strict schedule or a requirement or anything, because for me also art can seem very exclusive and very high standard, or something very difficult to access. So making it that easier and that open, it's much more welcoming to me or to other people that might feel intimidated. And it's interesting you saying about organizing it, the actual logistics of it, the process of it. And that brings me kind of, because I'm curious with people that I speak to on the podcast, to see behind the what we put on social media or what we say in kind of quick conversation in passing, but what goes on at the work and the challenges that we don't necessarily share every day. So if you feel comfortable to share any challenges that you would have come across and how you dealt with it, I think it will help people listening that might be dealing with things organizing or with their career or life, that go, okay, that's a good approach.
I for me, I'm finding the switch to full-time work, even outside of art. I let myself be a part-time worker and a housewife and a mum for years when my children were small. Like, they're all adults now, they're 20, 22 and 19. So, they're not needing you as much, but they still need you. So, but I'm finding that switch to full-time work in the last 20 years, being part-time, really hard. And the kids have used to be being around, so then they're not, the things that I would have always done are not being done. And that type of thing here, the challenge of keeping the house and keeping that right is really tough. So what you call it, I would find that trying to get them to understand where you're coming from and how busy you are and stuff like that there, and then even to try and to do that, to get the time then to paint in the evening. Do I do the ironing? Do I paint the picture? So no, well, I'm not doing the yarn. I'm not doing I'll paint a picture. So I have to kind of prioritize myself and think in my own head, well, look, do you know what? No, if I'm doing this today, tomorrow I'm definitely painting, or tomorrow I'm definitely trying to do social media. You'll find if you look through my social media, it's mostly at the weekends. Why? Because I am so busy during the week, I don't get time to post. And I have not, even though I've done a course, I just haven't managed to grasp the whole challenge of the scheduling posts and things like that. So I just try my best and try and keep kind of as much interest there as I can. But I think it's about keeping a level head and trying to kind of bite chunks of things instead of thinking I have to do everything today, or I have to, I can, if I want to paint, well, if I can't do it today, then I'll do it tomorrow, or, I'll save it for Saturday, and, my husband and the kids will have to do the grocery shopping, or, that type of thing. So, but the challenge of trying to organize this plein air event is so many notes and so much things of who I have to contact and who I'm waiting for a reply from, and even from the insurance side of things, even to see how many people are going to come to it, and how many people have signed up, and then that's going to adjust my insurance figures, and so everything is dependent on the next step. So it's just kind of I'm a journal girl, so look, notes everywhere. So what you call it, that keeps me sane. I find I'll pick it up and I can write more in it, as opposed to having stuff on my phone. And there's notes on your phone, but mine's is always empty because I tend to be handwriting. So I think that kind of keeps me right.
Fantastic. That's really good. I definitely agree that to get it out of your head, because otherwise, I have to remember that thing. I'll definitely remember. 2 seconds later, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, and it may never come back.
And it was a really good idea.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Without a doubt.
I think we leverage our skills from family or from work, whether it's project management, into, what is a project manager? Well, you do it every day with your family, with your kids, with their activities, with your activities, like that, with meals for the week or whatever the case is. And then you kind of, but I'm new to art, or I'm new to this job. What skills do you have already in life? It's fantastic to do that exercise and, build yourself up and go, no, I'm not starting from scratch. I have years of experience in life. What does that mean for me? What can I leverage from that to bring into the next challenge? And what about joys? How do you find time to celebrate them, or is it you're more focused on the bigger goals to achieve things, or how do you celebrate joys?
No, I think I celebrate the little things as they happen, because I could be at this for 10 years before I get a big joy. So what you call it, no, I if I sell a painting, if it's a small painting and it's only a small amount of money, that's brilliant, because it's a sale and it's somebody who likes my art, and it's getting it's up on the wall of somebody else. So I love that. Making my prints was another kind of big thing for me, because you're kind of making it more accessible to a smaller price point, so more people can buy your art if they want, and so that was a great thing to achieve and stuff like that. Then when I did my website, I was like, yes, it's done, it's great, I've done my website, but who's going to look at it? So then you have to start, and you're starting the ball all over again. So then you have to go on social media, and you have to post your website out there so people can see it, and then you was posting it to family and friends, so they would give me feedback on what they thought of it first before I put it out in the wide open. So you have to share. I find I have to celebrate the little things, because they are the things that matter, because that's what I'm working towards right now. And any little or biggish joy that I have, is great. And then trying to fit in family joys as well. My sister had her daughter made her confirmation and things like that. So my youngest brother is after having a baby boy, and so you still have to celebrate those things and try and find time in all the busy life to kind of meet up with them and celebrate with them as well. So it's a lot of juggling, but no, it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Absolutely.
Pausing for those moments and creating those memories on the journey, rather than kind of waiting for the climb the top hill and look at the view. But definitely the journey is worth celebrating too. And reflecting back on what you said earlier, how the steps, and they all depend on each other. So like that, you want people to see your work, but you have to have the website, but then you have the website tell the people so that they can go to the website. So they're all dependable, and
it's all building blocks and getting to the next stage. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's huge when you're starting and you're looking at a blank page going, where do I start? So it's very, very scary, but small things like that, just showing your work to one person, and whether
and the right person,
exactly.
You could show it to 10 people, but maybe 5 of them aren't interested, or they're thinking, oh yeah, that's okay, but it could be just the one person.
Yeah, I think so. Right.
That's the difference.
Finding those right people that are resonating with your work is wonderful.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Brilliant. And if you had like that, circling back to wrap up our conversation, to maybe have any advice on somebody starting out now, that they might be staring at that blank page, or feeling like they enjoy art but not sure where to start, would you have any advice or anything that you would like to share with them?
I think for me, when I made kind of the switch in my head to say, all right, I want to try and do more of this. You're trying to still keep your style. You're still trying to keep your art the way you've always done it, and not be influenced by others and kind of what other people think of it then. Because when you're making it for yourself, it's for you. But when you make it to try to sell it, you're asking opinions, and not to kind of get disheartened by if somebody doesn't like your piece, or somebody doesn't like the work that you've done. Just listen to what they have to say and take it on board, and and learn from it, I suppose. Or if you don't appreciate what they said, and you're thinking, no, well, I actually do like that, well then stick to your gut as well and go with what you feel. If it's constructive advice, and say, well, I think maybe that might be better, or maybe try that over here, or listen to that as well. But the blank canvas, I would put a color wash on it of yellow ochre or raw sienna, and peel it all down, and start from, at least you've something on the page as opposed to the blank page, and start the painting and see where it takes you, and take baby steps. I probably did, trying to make myself too much too soon, and push myself to do the website and things like that. But just take it day by day, and search out people who are like you, and get advice if you can. And there's always somebody out there who's in the same boat as yourself, or thinking the same way, and they'll always be willing to help.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Not at all.
Tell us how we can buy a ticket or attend the event that you're creating.
There's an event on my Facebook page, Leonora Reilly Art, and there's a link on it and on Instagram for the Eventbrite, and you can go into it, click on it, and it'll take you through to buy the tickets for the event. The tickets for the artists are €30, and it's 10 then to attend. I'm in talks at the minute, chatting with an artist to see if he'll do a workshop at the event. So that would be a paid workshop on top of the artist fee. So it's open to artists and anyone who wants to attend. So lovely. Looking forward to seeing as many there as possible.
Yes, I'm going to include the links in the notes of the episode. So if people want to click on them directly,
that would be great.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Boanna.
Leonora, I really appreciate your time and lovely conversation. I learned a lot myself, and I'll be attending. I have my ticket bought already.
Oh, you're very good. Looking forward to it.
Yes,
absolutely. Thank you, Boanna.
Thank you so much, Leonora.
Thank
have a great day. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.